Alright, what's up guys? Got Dave here, and I just wanted to talk about my top 3 mods for the Duke 690 here. And I've got a 2014 Duke 690, so it is the older motor before they put that second balancer in there that made everything super smooth. And it's still pretty smooth, you know, for being a 700cc freaking single cylinder. It's still a pretty smooth engine, but it's nothing compared to the next generation, like the engine that my 701 Supermoto has in it, that's a 2018. And I think the new engine showed up in the 2016 bikes is when they first started using it. But I just figured I would make a top 3 mods video for this bike, because I'm trying to do that for all of my bikes. And this bike was a lot like the 701 Supermoto. When I bought it, I pretty much felt like it was complete. I didn't really start thinking of things that it needed right off the bat. You know, like I pretty much felt like it was a very modified bike, as far as, you know, like the clutch being a hydraulic clutch and the brakes being Brembo. And, you know, I mean, it's really, there's not too much that you could do to this bike to make it better. You know, like you could put like a slip-on exhaust or something, or, you know, like whatever. You could try to make it, like, you know, customize it a little bit, make it your own. But as far as performance goes, and as far as like how fun it is to ride and how easy it is and comfortable it is to ride, this bike is right out of the box. It's perfect, man. And the only thing that I really didn't like about this bike is it came with some Michelin Pilot tires. And that's the first thing that I changed on this bike when I got it, is I put different tires on. And I haven't really had good luck with Michelin tires on motorcycles. I just haven't. I like them a lot. Like, I've got a set of Michelins on my car, and they last a lot longer than anything else I've ever had on my car. I've had like some Bridgestones and like some other ones on my car, and the Michelins are by far like the best mileage and the best performance. But on a bike, I don't know, man. And I really haven't tried like the 2 CTs or the 3 CTs, you know, like I haven't actually tried like one of Michelin's like hardcore race tires. The only Michelin tires I've ever had are just like low-end ones that came on a bike, you know, but I didn't like them. You know, they were the Michelin Pilot Sport or something like that, or maybe just, you know, the Michelin Pilot. I forget what they were called. And I did not like them at all. I rode around with them for like maybe 2 months, and I was thinking to myself, I'm like, why don't I trust this bike? You know, like it feels like it handles really good. It's low to the ground, you know, like everything's cool about it. But for some reason, I just don't have the trust, you know? And so I figured I'd swap out to a set of Continentals, and then that was it. That was the difference that I needed. And then my second mod for this bike is the DNA Stage 2 air filter. And it replaces the side cover of the air box, you know, that you would take off to remove the filter, you know, to clean or replace the air filter. You take off that side cover of the air box, and then it's like an air filter that replaces that side cover. And this is what that air filter looks like. It's the DNA Stage 2. It just takes the place of the side cover, the air box, and it lets air go in there easier. It actually makes it feel like you got a lot more torque, a lot more throttle response. So what it does is it allows air to rush into that air box, you know, and then into the air filter and then into the engine much easier than stock, you know, because stock, it's like the air can't really rush into the air box as fast as it needs to. And so every time that the piston is going down, sucking air and fuel into your engine, it's kind of like, it's like, you know, like having to try to suck that in. Where with the Stage 2 air filter, it totally relieves that. And there's no vacuum in there, you know, because the air can just flow right in there as fast as it needs to. And the amount of torque, like throttle response that you get like from that mod is amazing. It is freaking phenomenal. And I'm sure it dings the mile per gallon. I didn't really keep track of that. That was I don't know, years ago that I did that to this bike, but it makes a big difference as far as performance. You know, like if you want a quick performance mod for this Duke 690, that stage 2 air filter is freaking crazy, man. You put that thing on there and all of a sudden you're just like, pop, you know, like that quick twitch throttle response, that low end torque that you get is instant. It's freaking insane, dude. It's a big difference. But the only drawback really is that you can hear the engine more. Like you can actually hear, like coming out of that side cover filter, you can hear it going tak, 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 tak. You know, you can hear the volume of the engine a lot more. It's not as quiet as it is stock. But that's, you know, everything's a give and take. You know, it's like that's why they do the stock airbox the way they do, is to make it nice and quiet, but it robs performance. So that stage 2 air filter will give you back some freaking gnarly performance, but it makes it a little bit louder. You will hear the engine a little bit more through that side cover. And then my third mod, it's one or the other, or both, whatever. I got a windscreen for this bike, this Puig windscreen, and freaking awesome mod, dude. I did that because I was commuting to work and back, and if you do a lot of freeway riding on this bike, it makes a big difference having this windscreen, because it puts a bubble around you, and it just really makes it easier, you know, like on your neck or whatever. And if you've been riding to work and back for a while without one, and then you put one on there, you'll notice, like the first week of riding, you'll be like, wow, you know, like my head doesn't freaking hurt when I get to work, you know. It like makes a big difference in how hard the wind is pulling on your neck when you're on the freeway doing like whatever, 60, 75, 80, you know, like whatever you do. It makes a big freaking difference at the higher speed. But if you're just riding around in the canyons and stuff, then I don't know, I guess I wouldn't go with it, because honestly I like the look of the Duke 690 better without it. I honestly do. I mean, when you put this on here, it kind of takes away from the cool Street Fighter look of this bike. Same with the mirrors, you know, it takes away from the cool Street Fighter look compared to like bar end mirrors or something. You know, like these and the windscreen versus like bar end mirrors and no windscreen. I like the Street Fighter look better, but for commuting to work and back, this is a good setup. And my other mod that I would say, if you don't, you know, like if you're not thinking about doing a windscreen, I would say do a tail tidy, because, you know, I mean, that's my favorite mod anyway to do to a bike. And I went with the RNG tail tidy for this bike, and it made it freaking look cool, dude. It gets rid of that whole tail section, you know, that comes down, that big old rear fender that holds the license plate and all that crap, and it really makes this bike look good, you know, having a tail tidy. It really makes it look freaking cool. So that's it. That's my list of mods for the Duke 690 here, and or at least my list, you know. So if you've got a Duke 690, whoa, there you go, false neutral. I'm gonna make a video on that. If you've got a list of things that you've done to your Duke 690, freaking let me know. Leave it in the comments section down below, and I will talk to you soon. Peace.